Why I can't stop doing dumb things. So, 2 weeks ago, I broke my right hand in 5 places. I didn't hit anyone, thank God. That would have opened up a whole nother can of worms. And what happened? And I'll admit my reaction was an overreaction. Um, but as I have explained many times before, things like fear, pain, humiliation, these are all things that fall into the sexual category for me, unfortunately. So I guess it is relatively normal for people that are friendly to like scare each other and stuff. Obviously, this is not the case in my world. Now, a guy at work, cool guy, nice guy, get along with him, good guy, like friendly. Uh, I like the guy. He did that, hides and jumps out. Now, what he doesn't realize is with me, he just performed a sexual act with me. Now, in my mind, this is a male performing an unwanted sexual act towards me. I flip out. I mean, I am furious. Most people are unfamiliar with this kind of like rage. And at least I could keep a hold on things where it's like I know he didn't intend what the consequence was. It is because I am from a disturbed upbringing in certain ways that I have the response I do. And long story short, I have to do something with the rage. It's too much. Um and I end up punching some things. I didn't even punch as hard as I could. Once again, thank God. uh I wasn't even like trying to throw hard shots or anything. I just had to get it out. And the consequence was breaking my hand in 5 places, three knuckles and two of the bones in the back, the little ones, metacarpals maybe. Unfortunate. And I talked with the guy. I was like, listen, I didn't explain why, because that's not something you want to explain at work. Like, oh yeah, well, fear is sexual to me, so you just performed a sexual act with me, and that kind of upset me. But I did explain, listen, man, I know you didn't intend to make like upset me the way you did. I know. Now, in general, I would say in life, you want to live kind of like it's prison with a no hands policy. If you don't have a reason to be touching somebody else, you don't touch them. You never put your hands in their personal space because you might lose a finger. Like, it can escalate real quick when you start going into people's personal space. Uh, and, you know, it, I'm not going to say it's justified because that's fucked up, but like, because in a normal functioning human environment, especially like as things are in the West now, like my perspective is very outdated and very archaic and very brutal and just pathetic, frankly. Um, but this did cause me to think a little. And I was thinking back to when I was dating that girl, the one that I mostly talk about, and I was with her for almost 3 years, and it occurred to me in that entire 3 year time, I got in zero confrontations, zero, none. And after I had broken up with her, in the next 6 months after I had broken up with her, I had been in three. And one of those is when I broke that dude's ribs. But it's fucking sad. But I ask myself like why? What was different with you being with her? And the answer there is I had deferred to her social judgment. I could tell very easily that she was much more competent than I was socially. And like this is why I let her have control of a lot of things because I know there's a lot of things where she's going to say you should do this and I have no idea what the hell she's talking about. It doesn't make any sense to me. But in the context of like society and social situations, she's going to be right and I'm insane. um and that's pretty much how it breaks down is I am aware of that and I am aware about how many things I am wrong about, and like that list has only grown since then, unfortunately. um Sad once again, but nonetheless things are the way they are and that is how we must deal with them. So I found that interesting though. The entire time I was with her, like even if somebody, well, there was one situation where I kind of got tuned up by these two guys who were either detectives or pretending to be detectives, but that was because of criminal stuff. Like, and don't get me, don't misunderstand. The detectives were involved in criminal activity. Um, so I'm not sure if they were real detectives or not, but they tuned me up pretty good. Anyway, zero confrontations with her. And I can remember at least two situations where if I wasn't with her, it would have descended into violence almost immediately. And in both these situations, she wasn't present. But because like my mind had things where it's like I'm trying to use her judgment also because I want to make her happy. um I'm a good boy after all, and I want to please her in this way. Like I'm not a wild animal, like I you know so two of these situations in any other context would have unfolded poorly. They didn't, and I really didn't even care. And it's not like I look at it as like I walked away or got punked or something like that. I I was using her social values, and once I was broken up with her, I could no longer do that because like you know no longer love. Like I can't do it. Like obviously I still have feelings for her, and I hope she doesn't have feelings for me. Honestly, um, I wouldn't want to be a source of pain. Um, I, but uh, I love things like the sorrows of young Werther and things like that. I love that melancholy suffering, especially over things that are intangible like love and principle. Um, these are things that matter a great deal to Cody's. They are outsized in importance. But I ask myself, why is it if a woman is like involved and has like don't act like an animal that I can do it, and if not, I can't. Like it just happens. Like I don't want to say it's out of my control, but I feel like it's out of my control. um the emotional response is just like it feels like I've swelled up like 3 times my size, like, and as opposed to like the one way I've learned to explain this is like as opposed to like normally I'm always taking in information, like I'm hypersensitive, everything is being processed very fast, sound, image, like anything moving, any airflow, things like that, vibrations in the floor, all this stuff I'm constantly taking in. And then when something like this happens, it's like all output. It is fury, rage. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, you know, broke my hand in 5 places because I'm stupid. I have still managed to keep working on my project, and hopefully, once again, I can start making videos on some kind of a regular basis because honestly, it's helpful for me emotionally to do this. Um, as ridiculous as that sounds. Um, and I try not to get too personal while still being very forthright about things that are unpleasant. Um, so, you know, hopefully I can work that out because I have moved up a level in my abilities in the project I am working on, and hopefully, within the next 2 months, I'll be able to be much more clear about what's happening. But when you have people actively working to destroy you or damage my life or humiliate me in some way, um, you gotta be careful about what you say and what industry. Like, I can only get involved in certain industries because I know people are going to try and expose everything I have done. So you gotta be very careful when you have like unstable people like fixated on you as some kind of source of like ire in their world. Like you gotta be careful. And you have to plan things as if they've already done that. And, you know, I'm obviously not proud of everything I've done in my life. A lot of stuff I don't care about. Like a lot of the sexual stuff, that it is what it is. Like, I don't care. I came to terms with that stuff in my 20s. Um, you know, it it is what it is. I don't, like I said, I don't think people should go around talking about that stuff just because other people are going to find it weird. Um, but like in general, you don't want people to perceive you as off. Um, it is my experience because once that happens, it can never go back to the other way. And it's just a lot of information is like it's interesting because I was born and somewhat raised before the internet. I was a teenager when broadband showed up, and that's really when the internet picked up. And like information in my eyes is still seen as power. Like there was a time in my life where I believed everything should be out there. If I don't have any secrets, then no one can use stuff against me. But the thing is, you're always meeting new people, so you always have secrets, and people will try and weaponize information. So you don't want as much information as possible out about you because if someone who is competent comes into that information, they can use it to manipulate or control you. And this is something I find very interesting with like political information, where it's like, in my eyes, that's something you want to keep very, very close, like what you actually believe in and feel. You kind of want to keep that stuff close. You don't want to let everybody know. You don't want to go around announcing it because then I can juxtapose your beliefs with what I want you to do and put you in a position where you have to do what I want to stay in line with your own values. And things like that are something you want to be cautious of. But, you know, hopefully I'll be able to be more clear about things. Anyway, hopefully this is the last time I ever break my hand. Hopefully this is the last stupid thing I ever do. God willing. But if past patterns are anything, then But I've changed a lot, really. I am always trying to better myself because I know how different I am. Like, and I'll shut up after this. But even with that girl, she was 9 years older than I am. I think she, 7 years, 9 years. Irrelevant. Her age is irrelevant. She was a woman. That's the important because some girl can mean different things to people. To me, girl just means female. Anyway, I wouldn't even go in stores when I started dating her. Like she would literally take me by the hand and like calm me in stores, which I greatly appreciated. And if she wasn't in a mood to do that, she just went in the store alone and I just sat in the car, which is where I wanted to be anyway. But um, she would like make me go in stores, and I appreciate the fact that she did that because I can go in stores now. I still don't like going in big places, but like I wouldn't go in stores, and because like would like a feral animal go inside a store? Like if they are, they're trapped in there and trying to escape. It is only because of her that I can go in a store and like be functional. Which, like I said, I appreciate the fact that she did that, and you know, it's a shame that I was unable to be who she needed. But this, see, it gets into that sorrows of a young girl, shit. Um, but anyway, anyway, like I was saying, I know there's a lot where I'm incorrect already. So I'm always trying to root out things that make me abnormal or make me behave in fucked up ways and fix them. So take it for what it's worth, I guess.